So, hey, Tristan, say welcome to all of our friends and family.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
All right. So the reason we're here today is...
We are here to go through our emergency procedures and policies.
There's never emergencies.
There never are, but when there is, we need to know what to do when they do happen.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, and I think this is a good idea.
It is, yeah.
What we'll do is we'll kind of say, okay, if you're in 4th and 5th, this is what you're going to need to do. If you're in nursery, this is what you're going to need to do. If you're in toddlers. But if I don't serve in 4th and 5th, do I have to watch?
You don't. Unless you're somebody who just loves to know as much things as possible, you don't. We are actually going to have all of the information check marked in the video, so you can just skip right to wherever you're serving. So if you're in the nursery, you only got to watch the nursery video. If you're in toddlers, you only have to watch the toddler video.
I like that because that kind of saves me time.
It does, yeah.
That's good. But now what about, you reference, use this exit or follow this map. I mean, I'm on video. I don't see the map.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our maps for your room specifically and what you should do if there's a policy that we need to put in effect is in these red bags.
Oh, so,
yes.
So this one is the 4th and 5th bag.
4th and 5th bag. Yep,
so
that is correct.
But you got a map in here that is specific to an emergency in 4th and 5th.
Yes, yep.
Exactly.
So nursery bag will have information just for the nursery, toddlers, elementary, and so on and so forth.
Are you going to show me where this bag is kept?
Absolutely. In this video, we're going to cover a ton of great information of where's the bag kept, which staircase to take. We're actually going to walk you through it. So it's going to be very helpful.
Very helpful. So like, what if I'm not serving till next month or whatever? How do I see that map? Because I'm not going to be down in Ransom Kids. Can you put it in the description or something?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send all that information out to you just so you can make sure you know exactly how to follow the right path for you if that emergency does happen.
Is all this in the handbook?
It is. So if you don't know this, there's a Ransom Kids handbook that has all of this information in it. We'll make sure to add it in this video or drop it down in the description. So that way you can go through and read it. Some of us are visual people, so the videos are going to be great, but some of us like to read. And so that'll be a helpful thing for you.
Well, and truly, I'm working with kids. I want to know how to keep them as safe as possible.
Yes.
But I also want to know how you, my leader, keeps me safe. And all of that is in the handbook. Good opportunity to review it and just be up to date with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great reminder. Ultimately, Ransom Kids, leaders, staff, our volunteers, everybody here, we are here to make sure our kids stay safe. But we can't do a good job of that if you don't feel safe. And that's what this video is all about.
So if I need to get a hold of you or they need to get a hold of me, how do they do that?
That information is also in the handbook, which is super helpful. You can always make sure you can email Paul and I as well at our ransom.church emails, or you can even just stop us on a Sunday.
That's true. That's true.
And if you're looking for more information helpful to the Ransom Kids space, what can we always do, Paul?
They can like and subscribe and turn on notifications.
Yes.
Because this is going to be how we get these kinds of information out to you, is by producing high quality videos that will chapter mark, so you can just go to the ones that represent the area that you're in. But these are great updates that you can just kind of review and review and review. And we'll use them then as trainings for when we bring new volunteers into your areas.
Absolutely. So please make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications.
Yeah. All right. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. Walkthrough's coming.
Let's do it. Perfect. So we have our front doors are locked. No one's getting in or out. Our kids are accounted for. Our adult team members are accounted for. We have our red bag. We took our blue folder out that has all of the to-do list, the instructions of how do we make sure that we are safely and calmly walking through a lockdown procedure. The next thing you're going to look for in your red bag is these red and green laminated cards. So using our roster list that we're using to help make sure that we're keeping track of all the kids that are in our space during our gatherings. If everybody that checked in, leader and kiddo, is here on our list, here in our room, we are going to take this green card and we're going to slide it underneath our front door. However, if there's an emergency in our room, if we're missing a child that is checked in, but they're not in our room, or an adult leader, maybe they stepped out to go to the bathroom or to run upstairs to grab a coffee, that's when we're gonna actually take our red card and we're gonna slide them under our front door. And so just so you can see what it looks like, if everything's good in this room, everyone's accounted for, green card. If something came up, we're missing somebody, the red card, you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna slide it under the door. This helps our senior staff, our gatekeepers who are gonna be outside making sure that everyone's staying safe, maybe even our local law enforcement, so then when they're coming down, they can see which rooms might need some assistance. So that is a way to just communicate extra that we're okay or we need some extra help. Now, until then, we're gonna keep going about it as if it's just a regular gathering, keeping our kids safe, keeping them calm, caring for them the best that we can until that lockdown procedure is over. You will know the lockdown procedure is over when one of our Ransom Church senior staff, so Pastor Paul or Pastor Tristan, myself, or another pastor on staff here, comes and lets us know that the lockdown has been lifted. It might be Ransom staff, or it might be one of our local law enforcement, that we're okay to exit the building. Now, we're gonna make sure that we keep our kids here when that lockdown is lifted, that everything is safe, that we don't need to hide in place anymore, and then we're just gonna go right back into resuming how we would do a regular checkout to make sure all of our kids on our roster are checked out with the adult that dropped them off. And now we're gonna move to our weather emergency. So, you'll know that we're in a weather emergency by either being communicated by Pastor Paul or Pastor Tristan, myself, or another executive senior staff team member here at Ransom Church, or you're gonna hear the tornado sirens going off. So we wanna make sure that you guys know how to operate during this emergency. The first step would be, we're in our room, our kids are all checked in on our clipboard. We know everyone's accounted for and everyone's safe. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lock these doors and close them because adults will be coming down from the auditorium to come downstairs to also shelter in place during a weather emergency. So just to make sure everyone's safe, people aren't going where they're not supposed to, we're gonna close our doors, both our entry door and our pickup door here in the nursery, and make sure those stay locked until the weather emergency is lifted. So now that our doors are closed, they're both locked, we're gonna walk over, make sure that everyone's accounted for, everyone's still staying safe, staying calm. We know that even as an adult, sometimes I get storm anxiety, so I get it. We're gonna go to our red bag on the top shelf. You're gonna look for the big zipper pocket, and this time, instead of the blue folder, you are looking for the yellow folder. The yellow folder will have the helpful information in it that we need to go through and walk every step of, we know we're in a weather emergency. Here's exactly what you need to do, step by step, good reminders in this room during the weather emergency and when it's lifted. So we're just gonna shelter in place. We don't have to worry about windows or anything in this room, so we don't have to worry about glass, but staying relatively in the middle of the room is always probably a good idea. So you're looking for that yellow folder. There's also, since we're gonna be staying in a room, snacks are here, diapers are here, you still have everything you need because we're sheltering inside the room. And we're just gonna keep it going like a regular gathering until that weather emergency has been lifted. You'll know that the weather emergency has been lifted by the tornado sirens will shut off. Also, one of our Ransom staff executive team leaders, Pastor Paul, myself, Pastor Tristan, Pastor Josie maybe, will come and let every single room know that it's now safe. The emergency's been lifted, we're clear to open our doors. Once our doors are open, it's gonna go back to regular pickup. So parents and grandparents, whoever dropped their baby off, they're gonna come back to the checkout door, which is just right over here. And then we're gonna go through a simple checkout process just like we do every single Sunday. Thank you so much for watching this video. So now everyone's favorite, when everyone's calm, right? The fire alarms are going off, we're gonna do our fire evacuation policy. So imagine regular Sunday gathering, we're all in here playing and taking care of the babies, making sure they're staying safe. And we hear that our fire emergency alarm is going off. So that means there's a fire in the building or smoke. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we're staying calm. We're being that non-anxious presence for our babies. We are going to make sure that everyone is accounted for using our roster check-in that we're gonna be using, as always. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do, outside of making sure everyone's in the room and safe, we're gonna go back to our red book bag on top of our shelf here. So this time, we'll grab this red bag, but also grab these extra vests. This might help when we're walking with kids, so that way they know exactly who they're supposed to be with. If when we're gonna be crossing the street, which you'll see later on, this would be a good thing to have on just so that way traffic can see us, because you just never know. So make sure you grab both these things. Feel free to open these up and put one on if you feel called to do so. So you're gonna go to your big red bag. You're looking for that big zipper again. And now this time, we are looking for our red folder. So our red folder has a couple of things in it. It's gonna have that paper handout that's gonna give you a step-by-step instruction of if we're in the nursery, here's how we safely get kids to safety. And it's going to have this map with you. So I would hold on to this map the entire time. It's got a lot of good information on it. So this map is going to tell you not only plan A, but plan B and plan C of where to go during a fire evacuation. So we're always going to be hoping for plan A, but if that's blocked, go to plan B. If plan B is blocked, go to plan C. So how this is going to work is we're always going to hopefully have enough staff in here picking up our babies, 2 and 2 arms. We are going to be sharing a new thing that we're going to be having to make that a little bit easier later on, but right now we're just going to be carrying some babies. We're going to have gatekeepers be an extra person that can carry babies, as well as check-in team if we need some extra hands. So please make sure to ask for help if you need it. Pastor Paul and Pastor Tristan, myself, are also here to help as well. So make sure we have every baby accounted for and enough arms for every single child in this room. So we have our babies in our room. We're gonna now exit the room, probably through whatever nearest exit you are. I'm gonna go out our check-in doors. We're gonna go out our check-in doors. And now from this moment, we have a couple options based on which plan is gonna work best. So regardless of what plan we take, you wanna make sure to get everybody outside, to be calm, cool, collected, to stay together. We don't want parents coming to get their kids because then we're not sure who's with who. So keep our kids together. And no matter what, once you get outside, Paul and I are gonna show you, no matter what route you take, where we're gonna take our kids to, all right? So I'm gonna show you through plan A. If plan A is open, plan A is to take a right out the check-in doors, and we're gonna go right up our west staircase here in the Ransom Kids space out the front doors. So we're gonna keep going and go right outside our front doors right here. So we're gonna go up the staircase. Keep going, making sure that we stay to the right side, as somebody might be trying to get, if it's a fire crew, if there's a fire downstairs, we want to give them an open space for them to get downstairs, just in case that's necessary. Sticking to the right side, we're going to go up our stairs, and we're going to exit out our west doors. Once we exit out our west doors, we are going to make sure that somebody is out here directing traffic, because we actually have to cross the street. So we're going to cross the street with our kids, making sure we're safe. We have a pickup coming right now, so we're going to be safe and let him go by first. And we're going to move across the road, single file line, making sure everyone's staying safe, checking for traffic. And we're going to go right here to what is the city connection desk. So the city desk is the building right here to my left. It'd be to your right in this video. If it's cold outside, we're actually gonna go inside the building. We have that permission from the city desk officials. But if it's nice outside, we're gonna stay here in the parking lot. You're gonna take your red folder, and in it, you're gonna find a laminated paper. This one's for the 4th and 5th grade room, but in your red folder, if you're nursery, this will say nursery. If you're toddlers, this will say toddlers. You're gonna wanna make sure that you keep your kids together in your own space. So pick a space, your own space in the parking lot, making sure all of your kids and leaders stay together. And you're gonna have one adult hold this sign up. So that way, once we are given the approval for the fire evacuation to be over, parents have the approval to come pick their kids up. They're gonna come to this parking lot and they're gonna be looking for their room sign. So make sure that you hold this sign up so our parents know, our grandparents, our adults know where to pick their kids up. They're gonna come right to you and do a checkout policy to make sure that you get the kid. They're checked off on our list to make sure we know they're with an adult. And then we're gonna keep doing that until all of our kids have checked out. Once we have checked out, us as an adults, and if the building is safe, we'll go back into the building and we'll make sure that everything is ready to go and everything is clear for our fire evacuation emergency. Thank you so much for watching this video.
So hey, all you preschool, this is the emergency procedures and policies for all of you that serve in our preschool area. The very first thing you need to know is we want to make sure, no matter what happens, you kind of have that calming presence. Kids will mirror your emotions and your attitudes. And I know it's stressful when you hear alarms go off and things like that, but if you preload in your head, I need to be as calm as I can be. They're always going to be safe. You know, we got all the new lockdowns down here after the remodel. Then the kids will follow your emotions and your attitudes. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do if there is an emergency lockdown. So say there's a problem, there's somebody in the building that shouldn't be in the building that's causing problems. You're going to hear an air horn, and somebody from either the check-in team or myself or Pastor Tristan or Pastor Josie, maybe Paul Nix, Will, somebody like that, will come and kind of give the visual alarm that we need to go into an active lockdown. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your room roster. So we usually in preschool, we keep it over here. That when the kids are checking in, this is one of the reasons why we do this, they're writing down the names and they're getting those off the name tags, because if a kid doesn't have a name tag, in an event of an emergency, we don't know if they're here or missing. So that's why it's here. So you're going to grab this, and then you're going to grab your emergency backpack. Every room has a red backpack that has all of your emergency supplies. So I'll show you where we keep that. We keep it up on these top shelves in all the rooms, and yours is up here. So you're going to grab this, and inside it is going to be everything that you need for any of the emergencies. We're going to go through these specific ones for a lockdown. So you're going to see there's 3 folders, blue, yellow, red. Blue is the lockdown folder. And in here are the descriptions of what you will do. I will put a link in the video description so that you can actually read it before you get to an emergency. But I'm going to walk you through what all this says. So you've got your room roster, you've grabbed your bag. The only other thing you need to do for a lockdown is lock the doors. So somebody has this is all listed. I will show you how we lock these doors so no one can get in. So in your closet over here, we have a hex key that will lock these doors, and no one can get in unless you let them in. So in your closet is where the hex key is. It's on a wonderful little red ribbon. You'll grab it, and if it's already locked, so you can see this is out, so it is already locked. Nobody can get in unless you hit the crash bar. So you're gonna, it's locked. Let's say it was unlocked. So see, it's unlocked, and so it just comes open by itself. Then what you do is you put the hex key in and lock it, and now nobody can get in. Quickly head down to this one, because it really only takes a second, and do the same. You can see this one is already locked, but if it was unlocked, you're doing the same. You're locking it, and nobody can get in until you allow them in. Now, where do you put the kids during a lockdown? Because anybody can see through this glass. We want you to put the kids in this space, because if we're starting here and going like this, they can't see there's people in this room. And that's why we've kind of designed this. It keeps them from being seen in the room. And you can turn those lights off so it feels like it's dark, and then they'll be as safe as possible in here. You're grabbing your room roster and you're going, Billy's here, Susie's here, Johnny's here, Paul is here, Tristan's here. I'm not missing any kids once you're in this space. If you are missing a kid, that's back to our kit. You also have in here red and green cards. If you're missing a child, somebody's still going to the bathroom or getting a drink or something like that, you're slipping the red one under the door. And that tells the check-in team, the security team, gatekeepers, myself, Pastor Tristan, Josie, that something's wrong in here. Something is not as it should be. And so we can come and, you can see us tapping on the door and we can say what's going on, and you can tell us we're missing Susie. We can go hunting for Susie. Everything's golden, you put the green under there. You've got all your kids, all your volunteers. You are safely in lockdown. Again, I will have all the descriptions that's in your blue folder linked to the descriptions in this video so you can read it and be prepared. So then your next question is going to be, how do you know when we're outside of lockdown and everything's back to normal and safe? Because parents are probably going to be going crazy and everything. Parents will not be allowed downstairs during lockdown until whoever is teaching from the stage, Phil, whatever, says, lockdown is now done, you can come and retrieve your kids. We will come to the door and we will tell you, a gatekeeper or one of the pastors or a check-in volunteer, say, no more lockdown, you can go back to resuming your class, and just as best you can, resume class. And then when it's parent pickup time, you do parent pickup the same way. They gotta have their tags, they gotta be able to match with the kid's name, that kind of a thing. All right? Now let's talk about severe weather. Usually when there's severe weather, you're gonna hear a tornado siren go off of some kind, and that automatically lets you know. But somebody, whether it's a check-in volunteer or one of the staff, myself, Josie, Tristan, they'll come and they'll let you know, hey, there's severe weather. We're kind of going into a severe weather lockdown. So in that case, again, you're grabbing your room roster. Very, very important, so that you know if you have all of your kids, somebody's gone to the bathroom or something of that nature, you want all of your kids in here, and that's why you're checking the roster. You're grabbing your emergency bag, because in the bag is the yellow folder, which is for severe weather. And I will put a link in the description to what this actually says so you can pre-read and not have to wait till an emergency to know what the policies are. But I will walk you through what is printed here. So you've got your folder. You're going to make sure all of your kids are here. If all of your kids are here, you're taking the green and you're putting it under the door. If for whatever reason something is wrong, you're missing a kid, you're putting the red under, and that tells the gatekeepers, that tells the check-in team, this pastoral staff, they need to address an issue in this room. So until it's green, right, we're gonna address whatever is there. And then you're gonna take all your kids and you're gonna put them against this outer wall, which in your case is this green lime wall. And you're going to put them as close to the wall as possible, because this is a very, very solid wall, whereas the one on the other side is just, drywall. It's not support structure at all. And you're just gonna have the kids down and cover their heads as best you can. I did it, they're preschoolers, but they've probably been through some kind of drill in their schools, kindergartens, and things like that. So they're gonna get down like this until the all clear is given. Now, one of the caveats for the weather is that everybody upstairs has to also come downstairs so that they are protected from severe weather, because the basement is the safest place in the building. So you have to make sure nobody's getting in this room until the all clear has been happening, because parents are going to be coming down those steps. You need to lock your doors again. Parents will panic. Parents will realize they're downstairs. I'm only steps away from my kids. I'm going to grab my kids because I'm going to keep them safer than anybody else. No, even though we're going to instruct parents from the stage, until the all clear, you don't go grab your kids. We need to make this happen as quickly as possible, and that will just create chaos. Lock your doors anyways, just in case. So like I showed you in the other video, you're gonna grab your hex key from this closet. And if the doors aren't already locked, again, in this case, they are already locked, but if they're not already locked, use your hex key, lock this one, go lock the next one, and then you join the kids over here and keep them as calm as possible until the all clear has happened. Once you get the all clear, whether it's from a gatekeeper, one of the check-in volunteers, or one of the pastors, you can then, after the all clear, resume class as best you can. Parent pickup happens the same way as on a normal Sunday. They'll come in this door, they'll go down this hall, they'll pick up their kid and then exit out, but you're matching the name tags to the parent pickup tag. Could be a little chaotic. Parents could have lost and forgotten their pickup tags. We'll have to work those things out as they happen. But we aren't changing any of our policies when it's just a lockdown for severe weather. And so our final emergency procedure is the big one. It's fire. If there's a fire, that means we have to evacuate the building and the space. Some of the same things. Grab your room roster, because in this case, it's going out the building with you. You have to make sure every child in your gathering that's on this list is with you before you exit, because it will also become a way in which we can communicate to parents. We'll check off, because we'll be in a remote location, that this child has been picked up. This is super important. Make sure this is going with you. Again, you're going to hear the alarm. There will be alarm throughout the building that there's a fire, a typical fire alarm. So you'll just automatically know. You won't really have to wait for a staff person to come and tell you there's an alarm. You're going to know. The lights are flashing, all that good stuff. You're going to grab your emergency backpack folder. Now, there's things in here for an emergency evacuation, and I'm going to walk you through those. But also, the list of those will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go over those beforehand. But in your backpack, there is a red folder for fire. And inside here is a list of all the procedures, as well as the map on how we want you to exit, so that we don't have people going up and down all different kinds of stairs. It's going to be an organized exit of the building. So following these plans becomes very, very important. The map will be linked in the description of this video as well. Please familiarize yourself with that. But I will kind of walk you through plan A for that, just so you can visually see it. So again, this is the procedure printed out. I have the link in the description. What's going to happen is you, as the leaders, have these emergency vests. You don these quick, because that's going to make you stand out from other adults where you are going to be exiting to. If you need, there will be in your backpack an emergency kit just for whatever you might need. Your kids will be using these preschool travel ropes. And so you can have them hold on to one end, and the kid can hold on to another. And it just kind of helps keep everybody together so kids don't wander off. You just instruct them. Put this around your wrist or hold on really tight, and then we all go together. So there's about 3 of them in here, which should cover all the kids that you have. you are going to, again, before you exit, you're going to use your 2 cards. If you have all your kids in your room, you put green through one of your doors. You're missing somebody, put red. We need to find that kid fast so they can exit with you quickly. And you'll go out the doors. Let me give you a couple more things that's in here just in case. If you need to, we've got these Mylar blankets that if a kid is starting to get a little cold or chilly or stuff like that, you've got those. We don't want you to take time to grab coats. Don't grab coats. If the building's on fire, don't grab coats. We have an indoor place we're going to take you to, so don't have them go, I got to have my coat. Nope, let's go. Hold on to your rope. We're exiting quick, kids. We're going somewhere where it's going to be warm. You do have an emergency whistle just in case you need extra help once you're outside. And just in case if the lights go out, you have an emergency flashlight, which also has a strobe light if you would need that for any reason once you're outside of the building. So now let me show you your plan A for how you're going to exit. You've got all your kids holding on to one of these. Your leaders have their vests on. Somebody's got the roster. Somebody's carrying this bag that's got all this supplies. Take that with you. And then your plan A is you're going to go out this door, your kids in tow. You're going out this door. All right, kids, come on. Don't stop and pick up your coats. Come on. You're coming with me. And you're headed up these doors, and then Tristan's going to show you what happens when you go up these stairs and exit to the street.
Good. So we're going to go up the staircase. Keep going, making sure that we stay to the right side, as somebody might be trying to get, if it's a fire crew, if there's a fire downstairs, we want to give them an open space for them to get downstairs, just in case that's necessary. Sticking to the right side. We're going to go up our stairs, and we're going to exit out our west doors. Once we exit out our west doors, we are going to make sure that somebody's out here directing traffic, because we actually have to cross the street. So we're going to cross the street with our kids, making sure we're safe. We have a pickup coming right now, so we're going to be safe and let him go by first. And we're going to move across the road, single file line, making sure everyone's staying safe, checking for traffic. And we're going to go right here to what is the city connection desk. So the city desk is the building right here to my left. It'd be to your right in this video. So now that we're outside, we've crossed the street. We are next to our city desk building. Reminder, if it's cold out like today, we're actually going to go inside. We got that permission. But if not, we're going to stay out here in the parking lot. You're going to take your red folder, and in it, you're going to find a laminated paper. This one's for the 4th and 5th grade room, but in your red folder, if you're nursery, this will say nursery. If you're toddlers, this will say toddlers. You're going to want to make sure that you keep your kids together in your own space. So pick a space, your own space in the parking lot, making sure all of your kids and leaders stay together. And you're going to have one adult hold this sign up. So that way, once we are given the approval for the fire evacuation to be over, parents have the approval to come pick their kids up. They're going to come to this parking lot, and they're going to be looking for their room sign. So make sure that you hold this sign up so our parents know, our grandparents, our adults know where to pick their kids up. They're going to come right to you and do a checkout policy to make sure that you get the kid. They're checked off on our list to make sure we know they're with an adult. And then we're going to keep doing that until all of our kids have checked out. Once we have checked out, us as an adults, and if the building is safe, we'll go back into the building and we'll make sure that everything is ready to go and everything is clear for our fire evacuation emergency. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hey, 4th and 5th grade team, this is Pastor Tristan here, and I'm about to walk you through some of the emergency policies and procedures that we have specifically for this room. So the first one that I'm going to start with is our lockdown procedure. What is going to happen on a Sunday or on a Wednesday or anytime that we're serving down here in this space? And there is a lockdown procedure that is going to be activated by an air horn. So we're going to hear an air horn, and our leaders will be able to come around and help instruct you as best as possible as we can to walk you through that. But when you hear that air horn, when you know that we're about to go to a lockdown procedure, the most important thing that you can do right away at the beginning, and I'm glad I'm standing right next to the door, is to make sure these 2 doors are locked. And here's how you do that. So this first door here on the left, you are going to pop up the kickstand on the bottom. You're going to make sure it's closed, and all you got to do for this room is lock the door. Now, this other door to the right, there are 2 little things on the inside that deadbolt to the ceiling and then to the floor to make sure that door cannot get locked. So that is the first step you're going to want to do. Now, if you come with me, I'm going to show you what our next policy and procedure is for the lockdown space. We're going to walk to our 4th and 5th grade team closet, and inside of it, you are going to find a red backpack. So if you follow me, the door's open. We come into our closet. We got some organization we're going to get to eventually, but you're looking for this red backpack. You're going to grab that red backpack. You're going to calmly and coolly try to get our kids into this side of the room over by our 3 TVs, over by our bigger TVs, so they're kind of out of the way just in case there's an intruder so they can't be seen. And you're going to go into your backpack. You're going to open up the big pocket, and inside of it, you're going to find a blue folder. That blue folder is going to have a few handouts, and it'll have a couple of really good reminders in it of what we need to do as leaders to make sure that we keep our kids safe during this time. So here's that blue folder that you're going to be looking for in our red backpack. You're going to open it up, and there's going to be a lot of helpful things inside of here that are going to make sure that you know what's going on. So if you see it here, there is lockdown procedures that are printed out, as well as a elementary 4th and 5th grade sign that we'll be able to hold up a little bit later. So this, just in case you need a good reminder, there might be a lot going on during that time, and all of us will sometimes think that we're prepared, and then it happens and we forget. This sheet is going to have a step-by-step process of what we need to do in this room to keep our kids safe. Finally, other than keeping those kids safe and making sure our doors are locked, the next thing you also are going to want to do is to make sure that this door that connects us to the elementary room is also locked. This has a simple lock on it. It usually stays locked regardless of any ever Sunday, but always make sure this door is locked as well. So that way we can make sure that both of our entrance points to our room is locked. Last but not least, we're going to do a quick count for all of our kids. And once we know that this room is safe, that we are locked down, that we have all the kids that are here with us on a Sunday, there's one last step before we are good to go to just wait until that lockdown procedure. And that is to find our green and our red laminated cards in our book bags. What you do with these is that if all of our kids are accounted for, if there is no emergencies going on in this room, all of our doors are locked, we are going to take this green card and slide it right through the bottom of our 2 front doors. Now, if we are missing some kids, or if there is an emergency in this room, say the intruder was in this room, we would slide out this red card to let people know, to let the cops know, to let our gatekeepers know, or our pastors or our leaders that this room needs some assistance. So those are our green and our red cards located also inside our red backpacks. Other than that, we will know once the lockdown's over, once a Ransom church pastor or executive team leader will come and let us know that the lockdown is up, or maybe it's a police officer. We know that this time can be really scary. It can be really, really overwhelming. And so we just encourage you to breathe, to be calm, to know that you are going to do everything in your power to help keep our kids safe. I believe that. And if you have any questions about this material, please make sure to stop myself or Paul throughout the weeks. email us, call us, text us, and we would love to walk you through this again. Thank you so much for watching this portion of the video. We've already just walked through our lockdown procedure, so now I'm going to show you what happens if we have a weather emergency. So during a weather emergency, we're going to hear the tornado alarms, sirens going through. Our senior staff and our pastors and our leaders will be able to communicate that information to you that we are in a weather emergency. So what we need to do is that we want to make sure as a team that we have all of our kids accounted for our 4th and 5th grade room. Now, once we do that, we're going to want to make sure that we get our front door closed just to make sure we don't have any kids coming in and out. For this policy, we don't really need to lock this door, but if it makes you feel a bit safer, you can absolutely quickly lock our door. Now, what we're going to do next is that we're going to calmly and collectively make sure our kids feel safe. I know that even as an adult, sometimes I get some storm anxiety. So we're going to make sure to keep them having fun, being safe, and just being calm. But as an adult leader, what we need to do next is that we need to go to our 4th and 5th grade closet and find that red backpack again. So moving around the corner into our closet, you're looking for our Everest branded red backpack. And in that red backpack, you're going to open up that big zipper on the top. And this time we are looking for the yellow folder. So this yellow folder has a really great handout and information about what we need to do during a tornado lockdown procedure. So once you have that yellow folder, there's some really good information. Again, we all might get a little spooked or scared. We're not sure how we're going to react in emergency. This gives us a calm piece of paper to hold on to and just to go by step by step by step. Now, once we have all of our kids accounted for, you've gone through your yellow folder and made sure that you know exactly what we're supposed to do as a team. We're going to make sure the kids move over to this closet 3 TV area. We're going to make sure they're accounted for, that they're feeling safe, that they're feeling calm, that the kids even know what is expected of them. We don't have to worry about windows or anything down here. And so we're just going to keep them entertained and feeling safe. But here's a tricky part of this procedure. Moving over to our connecting door for our elementary room, we're actually going to open this door up because the elementary kids also need to come into our room. So we're going to come open this door up. We're going to communicate with our elementary team leaders during our gathering time. And we're going to get all of the kids from elementary, 1st through 3rd, also in this room with us. We have to do this because if it's during a gathering, the adults also upstairs need somewhere to go in the auditorium. So we're going to give them this room as well as the long hallway outside the elementary room. So those kids are going to move in. Once all of those kids are accounted for in our room, we're just going to go ahead and close this door again. Make sure it's locked just for extra safety measures. Keep all of the kids together in this room until that weather emergency is over. Now, you will know that the weather emergency is over by being communicated by Pastor Paul, myself, Pastor Tristan, or another senior staff member here at Ransom Church. So remember, the big things at the end of the day, if there's a weather emergency, is to make sure all of our kids are accounted for, close our door to make sure they're not leaving and getting out, go into our closet to find that red backpack, and inside that red backpack is our yellow weather emergency folder. Opening the door to help the elementary team bring their kids over, closing it, and then just hanging out, staying safe, trying to keep cool, calm, and collected for our kids and being that non-anxious presence for them. And then once that weather emergency is over, we're safe to go back into our own rooms and wait for parents to come and pick their kids up. Thank you so much for watching this video. We are going to go through our last emergency video, which is always everyone's favorite, gets us going, gets us excited because we hear the noise. It would be our fire evacuation. So if we hear our fire alarms going off, we know that there is a fire and we need to make sure we get all of our kids in our 4th and 5th grade room calm, that non-anxious presence for them. It is our job to safely get them outside of the church building to a safe distance, which we're going to show you. But first, as soon as you hear that fire alarm happen, we're going to be teaching, we might be playing a game. We're just going to make sure that we huddle all together. We have our kids, they're accounted for. We have the same amount of kids as that came in, that we have everything settled there. We're going to make sure one of our team members, whether it's myself or a small group leader or another adult leader with you, goes to our 4th and 5th grade closet again and looks for that red backpack. So we hear the alarm. We split up. We have the kids over here staying calm, huddled up, making sure we have everybody. An adult leader is going to go to the closet. You're going to be looking for this red Everest backpack again, opening that big zipper one last time. And what you're looking for our fire emergency would be the red folder. So this red folder is going to have a lot of helpful information. There's actually more information in this red folder than the other two, because there's a couple things we need to know. Number one, as with both, there's going to be a little piece of paper that's going to be that handout that's going to give you a step-by-step instruction of what to do during a fire emergency. The other handout in there is this laminated folder, which Paul and I will have, there are in the kids handbook. We'll have it added in the description in these videos, but just so you can see that, there's going to be a laminated graphic that tells you while you're in the 4th and 5th grade room, here is your plan A. If plan A is blocked, here's your plan B. If your plan B is locked, here's your plan C. Now, ultimately, plan A would be that we take this folder, keep it out so that way we know where we're going. We're going to take that red backpack with us. And you're lucky for this video is that we're going to be on the move. So we're going to be on the move a little bit. We have our backpack, we have our red folder, we have our map with us to know where we're going. We're making sure our kids are accounted for. And now we're going to get in a single file line, have an adult at the front of the line with that map, and then have extra adults in the middle and the back to make sure our kids are staying together. We know that during a fire emergency, all the other rooms are going to be trying to get to their exits too. And we want to make sure that we aren't the room that's causing chaos, that's having kids running around, because we want to make sure that these kids stay safe. So we have our folder, and now we're going to exit our room in a single file line, open our door up, put our kickstand in to make room. And then if you follow me, our plan A is to go out this staircase that I'm about to take you towards, and we're going to go across the street. Now, just in case that doesn't happen, our plan B for this room will be to go this direction. We're going to take a right down the long hallway, and we would go up the back staircase just outside of the pickup spot for elementary to then go up and then to go out of the building. So that is our plan B, to go down this hallway and to take a left, to go up that staircase and to follow the exit signs until we exit. Now, our plan C, if that exit's blocked, if plan A is blocked, our final plan would just be to, as soon as we leave the room, to go out the staircase just to the left of our entrance. Go right out those stairs and outside. Now, regardless of what plan we take, you want to make sure to get everybody outside, to be calm, cool, collected, to stay together. We don't want parents coming to get their kids because then we're not sure who's with who. So keep our kids together. And no matter what, once you get outside, Paul and I are going to show you, no matter what route you take, where we're going to take our kids to. All right? So I'm going to show you through plan A. We're going to go this way, back to our entrance to our door is right here. Perfect. Sounds good. And then we're going to go right through the checkout area with our red backpack and our red folder through our exit doors, up the staircase, and outside. Perfect. Keep going, making sure that we stay to the right side, as somebody might be trying to get, if it's a fire crew, if there's a fire downstairs, we want to give them an open space for them to get downstairs just in case that's necessary. Sticking to the right side, we're going to go up our stairs and we're going to exit out our west doors. Once we exit out our west doors, we are going to make sure that somebody is out here directing traffic because we actually have to cross the street. So we're going to cross the street with our kids, making sure we're safe. We have a pickup coming right now, so we're going to be safe and let him go by first. And we're going to move across the road, single file line, making sure everyone's staying safe, checking for traffic. and we're going to go right here to what is the city connection desk. So the city desk is the building right here. To my left, it'd be to your right in this video. So now that we're outside, we've crossed the street. We are next to our city desk building. Reminder, if it's cold out like today, we're actually gonna go inside. We got that permission. But if not, we're gonna stay out here in the parking lot. You're gonna take your red folder, and in it, you're gonna find a laminated paper. This one's for the 4th and 5th grade room, but in your red folder, if you're nursery, this will say nursery. If you're toddlers, this will say toddlers. You're gonna wanna make sure that you keep your kids together in your own space. So pick a space, your own space in the parking lot, making sure all of your kids and leaders stay together. And you're gonna have one adult hold this sign up. So that way, once we are given the approval for the fire evacuation to be over, parents have the approval to come pick their kids up. They're gonna come to this parking lot and they're gonna be looking for their room sign. So make sure that you hold this sign up so our parents know, our grandparents, our adults know where to pick their kids up. They're gonna come right to you and do a checkout policy to make sure that you get the kid. They're checked off on our list to make sure we know they're with an adult. And then we're gonna keep doing that until all of our kids have checked out. Once we have checked out, us as an adults, and if the building is safe, we'll go back into the building and we'll make sure that everything is ready to go and everything is clear for our fire evacuation emergency. Thank you so much for watching this video.
So now I'm going to cover the emergency policies for those of you that serve in the toddler room. Yeah, yellow. And so there are 3 of them, and we're going to start with if there is a lockdown. You will hear a horn that will let you know that they're in an active lockdown, or you might have a staff person or a gatekeeper come in and say, lockdown. So a couple of things. Number 1, the outer doors that are at the bottom of all the stairways will lock. So once everybody's down here, nobody new is getting down here. But we want to lock down inside our rooms, and I will walk you through that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your room roster, because you're going to need to make sure every one of your kids is in here. You might have had one of them go to your specific bathrooms. Again, that's behind the hallway locked door, so it's not too terrible, but you need to make sure all your kids are accounted for in this room. Then you're going to find your emergency backpack, and that is in this closet here where your TV is. Because in this backpack, let me open it up, is 3 folders, and they're color-coded for each one of our 3 emergency policies. For a lockdown, it's the blue folder. And inside the blue folder is pretty much like a checkoff list of everything I'm going to cover. I will put a link in the description so you can walk through it yourself, but that's in here. And so I will tell you all that is in it. Again, what's in it is you grab your roster, you make sure all your kids, if they're all here, what's also in your backpack is a red and green laminated. Green means good, red means something's wrong. So you're missing a child, something's wrong. You're slipping the red underneath your double Dutch doors, and that will let gatekeepers or a staff person know you're missing a child, something's not right in your room, and they'll come and they'll address it. Everybody's here, you slip the green under, and that will let them know you're in lockdown, everything's good to go. But you also want to, once all the kids are in, you've got the green go under your doors, lock your double Dutch doors. And so those are very simple. You've probably seen them on Sundays. There's no key involved in this part because your actual lockdowns are to the check-in area. But you'll pull it together. You'll make sure the latch is down for the Dutch door. And then if you haven't tried this before, the buttons are on the sides and you flip this up, and now neither you nor somebody from the outside can get in make sure you're doing the door over there, and it is very, very similar. And now you are fully in lockdown mode. No one's getting in. You'll know that lockdown is over and you can resume because, again, a gatekeeper or a staff person will come. Hey, lockdown is over. We're good to go. All right, you can resume if you still need to. We aren't going to have parents panicking and coming down. They will get a message that either the service has been canceled or the service is just ending normally. Parent pickup will happen like normal. They'll have to have their pickup tag. You got to match the tag, make sure they get all of their stuff. It just happens just like normal. It might be a little chaotic and parents have forgotten, lost, whatever their parent pickup tags. You find myself, Pastor Tristan, Pastor Josie, a gatekeeper, and say, hey, they don't have their tag. And we'll walk through those as much as we can. But you just want to tell parents, parent pickup is happening the same as on a regular Sunday. Now we're going to cover when there's severe weather. Now you're going to know when severe weather happens because you're going to hear the tornado siren going off, or just in case, a staff person, a gatekeeper might come and say, hey, tornado warning's going off, something of that nature, and you'll know. Now we're going to go through the severe weather policy. Again, first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your roster. You're going to get your backpack. In your backpack are these 3 folders. You're pulling out the yellow folder for severe, and in here is the checkoff list for severe weather, tornado, whatever, and I will put a link in the description, but I'll walk you through all of those. So you're pulling out your red and your green. You're going through your roster. Make sure all of your kids are in here. If they're at your bathroom, that kind of a thing, make sure they're in your room. Once you have all your kids in the room, you're taking the green for good, go slipping it under your double Dutch doors. If you still are like something's off, something's wrong, or we're missing a child, red goes under, and a gatekeeper or a staff person will come and say, what do we need to fix? And we'll get that fixed as quickly as possible. Once you do have everybody in your room, your backpack has a flashlight if you need, if the power goes out for any reason, but the emergency lights will also activate in that case. But you'll have a flashlight. You got some of those thermal blankets just in case the kids are getting cold or somebody's shivering because of stress. You can wrap them in that. And you're going to want to have those kids go against the most secure wall in your space, which is this big giant yellow brick wall. So as best you can, you line these kids up along this wall, and you want them to be hugging it as much as possible. I get it, they're toddlers, but you get them as close and as hugging as possible. You might have to, if things are falling from the ceiling, have them cover their heads until you get the all clear. And you'll know the all clear because a gatekeeper or a staff person will come to your doors and they will say, all clear. But for this one, you don't have to lock your doors. Again, the whole downstairs will lock and nobody can get down here except for gatekeepers or staff. Finally, once the all clear has happened, we will let you know, do you just want to continue your lesson, let them play, you want to keep them calm. Parent pickup will happen like normal. Now, the thing you have to know, though, is the parents upstairs, all are coming downstairs for severe weather because the basement is the safest place in the building. But we aren't going to have chaos picking up kids. They're going to be instructed, now you can go pick up your kids like on a normal Sunday. They're going to have their pickup tag. You're going to have to match that. If you have issues, find one of us and we'll get that solved as quickly as possible. But you just can't have parents, bringing themselves into their room and snagging their kids because they're under panic. Nope, that won't be good. Once the all clear has happened, then the parents will be given permission to pick up their children. So now the final procedure will be for an emergency evacuation, which probably is going to be like a fire or something. And you'll know that because you'll hear that alarm going off. Can't miss it. But a staff person or gatekeeper may come in and just make sure you're aware. First thing you do is do not panic. You need to be a calm presence for your kids as much as possible, but we do need to get out of the building as quickly as possible. Here's the procedures. You're going to grab your room roster. No need to lock the doors because you're exiting them. You're going to grab your emergency backpack, keeping the kids calm because I know the alarm can be alarming. Haha. And in your backpack, because this one, you're taking the backpack with you as you exit the building. I will cover everything that's in here for that. But again, the 3 folders, the red one is for like fire evacuation. And inside here is the checkoff list, which I'll have a link in the description so you can actually physically look at it. But I'm going to walk you through what are the steps and the procedures. Same as the others, you're checking to make sure you have all your kids. That's why you have your room roster. Take the room roster out of the building with you because it will become a part of parent pickup for this one. So you have all your kids, green goes under the door, and then you start the evacuation. Don't have all your kids, red goes under the door. Don't evacuate until you can say to staff or gatekeepers, green, all are here. So now you are going to line the kids up, and each kid is going to grab one of these emergency evacuation ropes. So each child, they can either hold or they're Velcroed, and they can go around their wrists. But this kind of keeps them corralled because there's going to be some pandemonium going on. But this can go around their wrist, and they are not getting anywhere. They're staying together. So you're leading them. You've got a couple of these in here, which should happen for all the kids. So you're grabbing your backpack. You've done your green or red, and you've finally gotten it to green to go. You're grabbing your roster. You've got all the kids somehow secured to that line. And you're saying, all right, kids, let's calmly exit. So I'm going to show you plan A for the exit because we are going to go up these west winding stairs, but we're going to exit out at street level there at Main Street, head across the street to the city desk. Don't stop to pick up coats if the weather is bad because Pastor Tristan will walk you through what is the procedure if you're leaving the building and the weather is bad. Basically, we do have an indoor place to take the kids, but if it's nice, you'll be at the parking lot across the street. So you got your kids in tow, you've got your backpack, you've got all of your room roster because this will become part of parent pickup when that is allowed to happen. But let me quickly go through what's in the bag so when you get out there, you know what are the tools you have available. So in your bag, you do have an emergency first aid kit if you do end up needing it. You have your thermal blankets in case a child needs it. But you also have a flashlight if you need it. You have a whistle if you need something of that nature. And then you've got these emergency vests for your other leaders. Because that will tell EMTs or fire or police that you're kind of an official because you've got these emergency vests. So hand these out to your volunteer leaders. And in your red emergency evacuation folder, you have a room sign. Because what you're going to do once it is time for parent pickup is you're going to hold this folder as high as you can. You've got your kids with their little corral rope all together because we don't want them wandering around.
And this will allow parents, once they've been given the all clear to pick up their kids, then they know if I have a toddler child, here's where my child is. Elementary will have theirs, so they know if they have an elementary child, here's where their child is. Fourth and fifth will have theirs, all that good stuff. And so they are going to come and pick up their kid. You're going to use this as a check off that Billy's been picked up, Susie's been picked up, Polly's been picked up, and you're holding this up. So you've got your backpack, you've got your room roster, all your kids are secure with the rope. All right, kids, follow me. You're going out these doors. And this is the plan A. And you're going up these stairs and straight out the street. Pastor Tristan will show you what to do once you get up and out those doors. Now, if this is blocked for some reason, then your next exit strategy is to come this way with your kids. Come on, kids. Come on, kids. Come on, kids. Isn't this fun? And you're going to go this direction. And you're going to go up these back stairs, exit to the patio, and then the patio across Main Street to City Desk. The thing is for this exit plan, parents are also going out the same way, and we want to avoid parents seeing their kid, grabbing their kid, or a kid seeing their parent and wanting to escape and get to their parent. No, no, no. It's the same thing at schools. You know, they got to wait for the all clear. They can't just come and grab their kid. So this is plan B. Plan C is to go up these straight stairs with your kids, your backpack, your roster. Again, straight out to the patio and then straight across Main Street to the City Desk. And Pastor Tristan will tell you what to do once you're across the street and at the City Desk parking lot, and what is the plan for bad weather. Again, don't let them meet up with their parents till the all clear is given, and don't have them grab their coats. We have an indoor place to go if the weather is bad. Appreciate it. Thank you, folks.
Keep going, making sure that we stay to the right side, as somebody might be trying to get, if it's a fire crew, if there's a fire downstairs, we want to give them an open space for them to get downstairs just in case that's necessary. Sticking to the right side, we're going to go up our stairs and we're going to exit out our west doors. Once we exit out our west doors, we are going to make sure that somebody's out here directing traffic, because we actually have to cross the street. So we're going to cross the street with our kids, making sure we're safe. We have a pickup coming right now, so we're going to be safe and let him go by first. And we're going to move across the road, single file line, making sure everyone's staying safe, checking for traffic. And we're going to go right here to what is the City Connection Desk. So the City Desk is the building right here. To my left, it'd be to your right in this video. So now that we're outside, we've crossed the street. We are next to our City Desk building. Reminder, if it's cold out like today, we're actually gonna go inside. We got that permission. But if not, we're gonna stay out here in the parking lot. You're gonna take your red folder, and in it, you're gonna find a laminated paper. This one's for the 4th and 5th grade room, but in your red folder, if you're nursery, this will say nursery. If you're toddlers, this will say toddlers. You're gonna wanna make sure that you keep your kids together in your own space. So pick a space, your own space in the parking lot, making sure all of your kids and leaders stay together. And you're gonna have one adult hold this sign up. So that way, once we are given the approval for the fire evacuation to be over, parents have the approval to come pick their kids up. They're going to come to this parking lot and they're going to be looking for their room sign. So make sure that you hold this sign up so our parents know, our grandparents, our adults know where to pick their kids up. They're going to come right to you and do a checkout policy to make sure that you get the kid. They're checked off on our list to make sure we know they're with an adult. And then we're going to keep doing that until all of our kids have checked out. Once we have checked out, us as an adults, and if the building is safe, we'll go back into the building and we'll make sure that everything is ready to go and everything is clear for our fire evacuation emergency. Thank you so much for watching this video.
All right, so this is going to be our emergency procedures in our elementary 1st through 3rd room. The first one we're going to start with is if we have to go into a lockdown. So you will hear kind of a lockdown sound happening, and you will just know that we need to go into an active lockdown. Now, of course, the doors that are at the bottom of the stairs will be locked. So no one, once those are locked, are gonna get down here. But in our spaces, we wanna add another layer and lock down us in these rooms. And then there's some safety protocols. So here's what I need you to know. When you hear that siren, first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna be calm to the kids because they're not gonna know what's going on. But you're going to send someone into your closet and you're gonna grab this hex key off of here because that's going to allow you to lock these entrances, okay? So of course, on a typical Sunday morning, they're not locked. They are wide open. And you know, because when you come up and look, and we'll zoom in, this crash bar on both of these are all the way in. They're flush. So they can be opened from the inside, they can be opened from the outside. So you're gonna grab this hex key and you're gonna quickly pop them. And now, not only can you not open them, but they can't open them from the outside. But you got these doors over here, so you need to take this one key and quickly go over there and lock those. But they function just the same. I'll show you quickly. So again, you can tell these are not locked because it's flush. So I'm going to lock them. And now you're secure in your rooms. Then you're going to grab the emergency backpack out of that closet. Because in your backpack, and you'll have to watch on the floor here, you have 3 folders, and each color means a different type of emergency procedure. So this one is the blue for a lockdown, because inside the blue folder is a description of all these procedures, including the locking of the doors. And I'll have a link to this in the description below so you can have an access to the actual printed copy. But it is in here in case you need a type of checkoff list. So you've locked those doors. That's what's in here. You've heard the lockdown signal, and you have all of the kids going to a designated area in the room. So you're going to grab, after you lock these doors, you have your backpack, you pulled your blue folder, you're going to grab your room roster, say, all right, kids, we're going into a lockdown procedure, and you're going to take your kids over to here where they cannot be visible from those doors. And you're just going to line them up in here. If there is room behind the stage, you can put some back there. We just want to kind of make it like there's nobody in this room as much as possible. Again, the outer doors are locked, your doors are locked, probably nobody getting in. But now you're going to take your roster and you're just going to make sure every single one of your kids is accounted for. Because I know sometimes they go to the bathroom, they shouldn't be getting a drink, you have water in here, but if they have to go to the bathroom, you need to know, are those kids here in your lockdown? If you're missing a child, back to the backpack here, you have in your backpack green and red. If you're missing a child, you slip the red under the door. And that lets staff, gatekeepers know something's not as it should be in this room, and they'll come and you can say, I'm missing Billy because he's probably in the bathroom. They'll have keys. They can find Billy, get him in here with you. If all of your kids are here, green goes under and they know you're completely in lockdown procedure. You stay in lockdown until a gatekeeper or a staff person comes and says, all clear, and then you just continue your room pick up the lesson or your small group or go to active play, because parent pickup will happen as normal when either the gathering is over or the lockdown is over. But you will be instructed by a gatekeeper or a staff person for all of that. So now the next procedure we're going to go over is if there's severe weather. What will happen is you will hear that tornado warning, and you just know. You don't need to wait for somebody to come and tell you. You just know when you hear that tornado warning, there is a severe weather. Now this one's unique in that all the parents and adults upstairs, they have to come downstairs to the most secure place in the building, which is gonna be your room. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to pay attention. You hear that warning, you don't have to lock the doors, but you have to grab your room roster, because we're gonna move you so that this room is available for adults upstairs. You're gonna grab your backpack and you're gonna take it with you. But in your backpack is now the yellow folder, which is severe weather. And again, the form in here as a type of checkoff list, I'll have that and a link in the description so you can follow through it. But I will walk you through what happens. So you've got all of this. Keep your backpack with you. It's got a flashlight in it, all that good stuff. You make sure you have all your kids. If you are missing a child, that's where you take the red, slip it under your door so that they will come and they'll say, what's wrong in your room? You can say, I'm missing Susie. She went to the bathroom. She's not back yet. They'll hunt Susie. Soon as you get all your kids in your room, you can now put the green out that says to gatekeepers, staff, you're ready. You'll grab your backpack. You've checked your roster. What you're going to do is go into the 4th and 5th grade room with them. You're like, okay, kids, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And you kind of want to expedite this as much as possible because adults are going to be coming downstairs, not to unite with their kids, but to be safe. You're going to go through this door and join Pastor Tristan and his 4th and 5th grade crew to be all in there. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be crowded everywhere, but you're going to be safe and your kids are going to be safe. You have a water bottle in here. You have some thermal blankets just in case a kid is stressed and they're starting to shiver or just shake. You've got a flashlight in here. You've got a whistle in here so that you can let your own alarm if anything happens. But you will join the 4th and 5th grades until the all clear is given, which is going to come from either a staff person or a gatekeeper. And then the parents will go back upstairs. You're not uniting the kids with the parents. Nope, that will happen after the whole weather has subsided and the all clear is given. Then if there's time, you can reassume your lesson in your class. You'll come back in here, or we'll just make the call. Maybe Pastor Phil or somebody will make the call and we're just canceling. Now go pick up your kids. But it's gonna be pick up like normal. If they don't have the parent pickup tag, they don't get their kids. And I get it, there might be some chaos, there might be some without kids. That's where you seek out one of the family ministry team's staff, myself, Pastor Tristan, Josie. I've got parents who've lost their tags, all that good stuff. We'll work it out as we do it, but you just don't let parents come and grab kids. Never, ever, ever will that ever happen. Okay? Thank you. So the last procedure is if there's a fire and we actually have to evacuate the building. So you're going to start with the same thing. You're not locking doors for this one, but you're going to grab your room roster. You will hear the fire alarm. I should have said that first. You'll hear that fire alarm. So you'll know you're going to grab your roster. You're going to grab your backpack out of this closet. And this one is that final folder. appropriately red for fire. Inside is all the things I'm going to cover printed out as a checklist type of thing for you. There will be a link in the description so you can actually read it through. But you're going to grab your room roster, make sure all your kids are here. Yeah, the alarm's going off. You're going to make sure all your kids are here. If they're here, green under the door. If you're missing a child for anything, red under the door, and a gatekeeper or a staff person will come and say, what's wrong, and we'll get it solved as quickly as possible because we need to exit the building as soon as possible, but as calmly as possible. So you've got your backpack, you've got your kids, you've got it green, you're green to go. You're going to, let me put all this back in. You're going to have kids single file line because all the other rooms are exiting. You got to be in a single file line. They're going to be in a single file line. Follow me, follow me, follow me. So I'm going to walk you through plan A. Plan A is to go up our west doors to Main Street and across the street to the city desk. Pastor Tristan will kind of take it from there, but you're going to say, all right, kids, let's go. And you're coming out and you're headed to these windy stairs up and out that door to the street level, cross the street to the city desk. Pastor Tristan will explain if it's inclement weather, what's the alternative plan. It's still city desk. It's just you get to go inside instead of outside. So he'll explain it from there. That's plan A. Plan B is, plan B, we're going out the same doors and we're headed up the backstage out to kind of our patio and then straight across the street to city desk. Plan C, if there's something happening here that prohibits you from going up those backstage doors out to the patio, then you're gonna go these doors straight up to the patio. This is why this one's plan C, because all of the parents are also going out those main exit doors across the street as well. And we want to try to avoid parents seeing their kids and going, hey, there's my kid, Billy, come over here. No. You know you have your kids. And then Pastor Tristan will explain what will be the procedures for parent pickup once we've given the all clear that they can pick up their kids, because we won't come back into the building, obviously, if there's been a fire. So real quick, let me tell you what's in your bag, because you want to take this bag with you when you head out the building. And I should emphasize, don't grab coats. Don't take time to grab coats. If it's inclement weather, Pastor Tristan's going to walk you through that. They'll just be going quickly inside the building. He'll cover all that. But you have in here, you have some emergency vests. You want to put these on to some of your key leaders so that everybody and police and fire can quickly identify, who's in charge. So you want those vests. You will have some thermal blankets if kids need it. You've got a water bottle if they need it. I've already explained. You've got a flashlight in here if you need it. You've got a first aid kit if you need it. You've got a whistle if you need it. But also in your red folder is your age environment sign. Because at some point, when the all clear is given, parents are going to want to find their kid. So you're going to hold this up, and you've got your room roster, and parents can come and pick up their kid. And then you're just going to check off, Billy got picked up, Susie got picked up, Tristan got picked up by his mom. Everybody's gotten picked up. But you'll have your sign. If they have a 1st through 3rd grader, they know to go to you. Toddlers will have their sign, so if they have a toddler, they'll know to go to them. So that keeps it from being just a random sampling of kids. Everybody's grouped together and stays together. Thank you.
Keep going, making sure that we stay to the right side as somebody might be trying to get, if it's a fire crew, if there's a fire downstairs, we want to give them an open space for them to get downstairs just in case that's necessary. Sticking to the right side, we're going to go up our stairs and we're going to exit out our west doors. Once we exit out our west doors, we are going to make sure that somebody's out here directing traffic because we actually have to cross the street. So we're going to cross the street with our kids, making sure we're safe. We have a pickup coming right now, so we're going to be safe and let him go by first. And we're going to move across the road, single file line, making sure everyone's staying safe, checking for traffic. And we're going to go right here to what is the city connection desk. So the city desk is the building right here. To my left, it'd be to your right in this video. So now that we're outside, we've crossed the street. We are next to our city desk building. Reminder, if it's cold out like today, we're actually gonna go inside. We got that permission. But if not, we're gonna stay out here in the parking lot. You're gonna take your red folder, and in it, you're gonna find a laminated paper. This one's for the 4th and 5th grade room, but in your red folder, if you're nursery, this will say nursery. If you're toddlers, this will say toddlers. You're gonna wanna make sure that you keep your kids together in your own space. So pick a space, your own space in the parking lot, making sure all of your kids and leaders stay together. And you're gonna have one adult hold this sign up. So that way, once we are given the approval for the fire evacuation to be over, parents have the approval to come pick their kids up. They're gonna come to this parking lot and they're gonna be looking for their room sign. So make sure that you hold this sign up so our parents know, our grandparents, our adults know where to pick their kids up. They're gonna come right to you and do a checkout policy to make sure that you get the kid. They're checked off on our list to make sure we know they're with an adult. And then we're gonna keep doing that until all of our kids have checked out. Once we have checked out, us as an adults, and if the building is safe, we'll go back into the building and we'll make sure that everything is ready to go and everything is clear for our fire evacuation emergency. Thank you so much for watching this video.